Len, first thing I want to ask is, you watched the game in England, you travelled to Italy, I know you were with the team and you trained. What was it like being in the stadium in Udine and watching what happened?
Yeah, it was obviously disappointing with the results, but for me it was just good to be back in the group, be back with the boys. So yeah, overall it's just good to be back with the Wallabies.
Can I ask you, basically why weren't you able to play against Italy? Because I'm assuming you're fit and you're ready to go.
Yeah, I think just with combinations, I think Hunter and Joseph were going well. And obviously it was my first week back in, so I didn't think Joe wanted me to play. So obviously disappointing, but I think just the week of training and then training this week, I should be up for selection.
What were the things that you noticed just watching? Obviously, you're a super key part of this backline. What were the things that you were noticing? And I know you had a hard day of training today. You're like, we've got to lift playing one of the best teams in the world in Dublin.
Yeah, I think just for us as a backline, I think we can do a better job of controlling where we want to play, and then just making sure that we're getting opportunities to get the ball to an edge. We've got some awesome wingers who in space are pretty hard to tackle. So just making sure that we're able to share the load within the forwards, and then just taking those opportunities.
I mean, this team traditionally is at its best when the odds are against them. Traditionally, come back time and time and again. It's probably one of the most challenging periods, certainly for Joe. Can you just take us through the last few days and the review? I'm assuming today was an extremely hard training session in the wet in Dublin.
Yeah, after any loss, it's pretty tough to review games. But I think for us, mentally and physically, we just wanted to get everything right. So we had a pretty light day on Monday, and then we've just gotten into our work today. And I think our session today was probably one of the best sessions that I've been a part of throughout this year. And I think everyone's just keen to get back out there. Another opportunity for us to play against an awesome side like Ireland. They're a tough team, and especially at home in front of their crowd, very passionate. But then it's just another opportunity for us to kind of go out there and play some good footy.
I mean, you said it was one of your best sessions. Can you just elaborate a bit on that? In what way was it so good?
Just in terms of our intent. We have a style, the way we want to play, and I think everyone was, making sure that we kind of played the way we want to, and it does help having Rabs back into the squad. Older head who's very experienced, steering the boys around and obviously kind of helping Tane along the way, which has been good. But I think in terms of intent and physicality, pretty sharp today.
Okay, Tom.
I can add a bit to that as well.
Please.
I thought we were very accurate with what we did today, even with the tough conditions. Our carry clean detail was, again, like Lenny said, was some of the best we've had for a number of weeks. So there was some really good intent, but accuracy as well with what we were doing.
Tom, I've been lucky enough to be with the team from England, Italy, now here. I see the hours that go into it. Joe's pulling all sorts of hours, you coaching staff, players. I know you're trying to fix it, but as part of the coaching team, can you tell me how can you fix the attacking rucks and securing them, and B, the inability to break the game line, which has been over the last two games?
Yeah, I think the last two games our ball's been really slow at the breakdowns. That's helped with us not creating space for our ball carriers. We just have to try and create quicker ball, and do that by our ball carrier being really accurate with his detail, and our cleaners, and then our speed to clean, to identify threats and get rid of them. If we can get quicker ball, all of a sudden we'll be able to play with more space.
Len,
I was just going to say the conditions, they're a bit more greasy out there, expected on the weekend as well. Will that play to Australia's strengths, do you think, or is that something else that threatened, another curveball in the mix?
No, we're very used to, like if you look at a lot of our test matches this year have actually been in wet conditions, so the lads are very, very able and understand what we need to do if the ball's a bit wet and a bit greasy and how we play in those sort of conditions. So we're pretty confident whatever the conditions are, we'll just have to adapt them and play what we need to.
And having James O'Connor back in, what does that kind of bring to the team?
Oh, he's, like Lenny said, he's very experienced. He's a great bloke. The boys love having him back around, and he knows how to drive a game around. The boys got a lot of trust in him, and he understands how we play.
Tom, is he up, just to clarify, is James up? I know the team hasn't been announced, but is he up for selection? Because it was worded that he's in to prepare the team.
Yeah, I think everyone that's in the squad is up for selection.
Yeah. And then just Len, you've obviously played outside of different playmakers, Tane, Carter, Noah before. Can you just give us a bit of an insight? What are you kind of noticing? Obviously, you knew playing with Rabs, but playing with Carter, what are you sort of noticing just on his inside?
As in playing with Carter?
Yeah, with Carter Gordon, yeah.
I don't think I've played. Oh no, I have actually. He was a rookie in 23. Not a good year, but Carter's first half last week. What we saw from how he took the ball to the line, kind of distributed the ball to an edge. I think he was sharp, especially his first game back. After spending a year in league. He's been good for us.
How have you taken it on? I mean, I know you weren't involved, Len, but it means everything to you to represent this jersey, and you've always had that fire to prove people wrong. I think last year certain critics, not in Ireland, but I mean, you said it's an opportunity. I mean, how much does that motivate you to really, bring that momentum back, which, is desperately needed?
Yeah, as I said before, it's just when you're out of the squad, you kind of miss, everything. You miss the boys and the coaching staff. But when you come in, you don't take that for granted. And for me, I just wanted to come in, get around the boys, and then really prep the boys well. Obviously, we didn't get the results, the last couple of weeks, but for us, it's looking forward. We got a massive challenge against Ireland this week, and that's our main focus, which is Ireland.
Tom, one thing that can be taken out of difficult two results, line out. Obviously, your speciality. Ireland have one of the best in the world leading their line out, Paul O'Connell, but they've had their challenges. How are you approaching this Ireland team at the set piece?
No different to any other team really. We'll do our homework, we'll prep ourselves really well around what we can control, and be really accurate with that. And then, make sure we're well prepped and understand what's coming.
Can you give us a bit of an update? The boys were up yesterday, but just training-wise, Carter Gordon obviously had a bit of a tight quad, belly, he was managing, shoulder. It was a test match Tuesday session. How are those boys? How did they pull up?
I haven't checked in with the medical since we've finished training, but just from my eye, they both seem to get through training well with no complaints. So I think they're tracking well.
Len, can I just ask you about, if you're looking at your career, how you feel this year has gone for you?
I think there's been a lot of ups and downs. I think at the start of the year we're kind of building towards, building on what we did last year on Spring Tour. I think that Spring Tour was, kind of a change for us as a team. And just throughout the year there's just been a lot of ups and downs, and we've lost a lot of players. Some young players have come through. But for me, I think I've really enjoyed this year. I've enjoyed playing with the boys, and then obviously I'm at Exeter now. I'm enjoying that new chapter. Very different to back home, but I think change is different for me, and I'm really enjoying it, enjoying my time.
And how has playing with Exeter kind of added to your repertoire of skills, do you think?
I think it's just, playing a different brand of footy. it's a lot different to back home and how the Brumbies play. Obviously, Henry Slade's there, who's obviously not getting picked for England, but he's been playing, unbelievable for Exeter. And just being able to learn off some experienced players, and just learning off the younger players too. It's been quite refreshing and exciting.
And so has that added a kind of spark to your game, do you think? Do you think that, coming over here was, a really important decision for you and it's paid dividends?
Coming over as in coming over to Exeter?
Yeah.
I think it has. I think I wanted to grow my game. I didn't want to come over here and just play a season. I wanted to come over here and really grow, not only as a player but as a person and a family man. And I feel like I'm slowly doing that. It's quite tough when you used to be the younger boy and now you're one of the oldest in the team. And it's gone so quick, and before you know it, I'll be watching from the stands. So I'm just really enjoying coaching. Hopefully one day. But yeah, at the moment I'm just enjoying my time and taking it, a step at a time and enjoying it.
Yeah, and that's interesting what you said about being a more senior player. You're still very young, but
27 now. No.
Oh mate, come back to me, mate. The thing is, at these difficult times, you have a guy like James O'Connor. Unfortunately, will have to go back, but it's as much, I suppose, what you do off the field, getting around the boys. What kind of a role? I know you're a very popular member of this team. Just getting around the younger members. You've been through this. You've been at worse times than this. What kind of role are you playing there? Just culturally, just really helping the boys to believe that they can win this against one of the best teams in the world.
Yeah, I think it's just for me. I kind of go around different groups. We all got those different groups who hang out with each other, and just getting to know the younger boys. I make fun of them, like Kalani Thomas and Tane. I really get around them. I really enjoy their company, and just making sure that, just checking in on them. Coming in, as a young man into the squad, you really want to be able to look after them and check on them and give them a lot of confidence, because once they get confidence, they're going to play their best footy, and it's only going to benefit the team.
In terms of just you've moved on from the disappointment, can you just take us through, without going into specifics? There's no better man than Joe Smith to get a team up. Coming into training today on the bus, it's pissing rain, it's one of those Dublin days. What was the feeling just from the bus? Was it, from the boys, just to really put on the best possible session in the week?
Yeah, I think
it started with Billy's music on the bus, eh?
No, terrible.
Billy Pollard?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, his music's terrible. But
Was it rap or?
Was it a bit of Irish music?
a bit of everything. But yeah, I think Tuesdays are the days where you really want to set up your week. You really want to be intentional and get through your physical work on the Tuesday, and I thought we did that today. And then I think Thursday's about execution. We want to execute our plays and execute it at speed. And the first couple of days have been good for us. It's about connecting. Obviously disappointed about the results, the result last week, but make sure that we're tight, we're connected, and not go away from what we want to achieve. And I think as a group, we've stayed connected. It's only going to help us on Saturday.
How do you deal
Just
with
conscious of time, John, I want to go the other side.
Oh, please.
Tom, you mentioned about the training session there. Obviously, it will be your Australia's 14th test this year. So do you have any concerns about any kind of mental or physical fatigue at this stage of your season?
It's all planned. Like, we've closely monitored how much and how hard we train, and obviously our strength and conditioning and head of performance are right across the board, and making sure that we're not training the boys too hard, or we're training them enough to make sure that we turn up on Saturday with plenty of energy in the tank and able to do a job.
And have you noticed what kind of reception Joe Schmidt has got since he's come back to Dublin?
He's a bit of a hero around here, isn't he? Yeah, no, he's pretty famous.
And you mentioned, John mentioned there about Ireland, but we're seeing a lot of vulnerabilities with Ireland at the moment. You mentioned there about the line-out, so do you see this as a big opportunity on Saturday?
Oh yeah, look, there's definitely strength and weaknesses in all teams, and they had a bit of a struggle with in the weekend, but generally with the team, the class of Ireland, that they'll be putting a lot of effort into that area this week to make sure they're a lot better. So, yep, there's been struggles in the weekend, but I'd imagine they'll be a lot better for it this week.
You started, obviously played last year. Have you done anything around Dublin since you've come here, or can you do anything with that atrocious weather?
I think it's like this in Exeter.
Yeah.
I've only seen the sun maybe twice. But yeah, I think we're going to connect tonight. We'll go out to the city and, share some food together, which will be nice. And then a few boys are going out to golf tomorrow.
Nice.
Hopefully it's not raining, but yeah, that'll be nice.
How do the rest of them feel about the terrible weather here then? I know you're saying you're used to it from Exeter.
No, you just got to play to the conditions.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the weather's the weather. Like you stay indoors or you go out, but I think the boys will look to have the day off on Wednesday or tomorrow. Some boys will do some recovery, some boys will play golf. So.
Just final one for me. Obviously, it seems it could be like Joe Schmidt's last game here in Ireland, and obviously such a as the Wallabies head coach. Is there a sense there that you kind of want to do more for him to mark his final time as Wallabies head coach, possibly here in Ireland and Dublin?
Yeah, I think every game we want to play for our coaches, we want to play for our country. So it's no different this week. But I think Joe's been massive for us. Like honestly, a lot of the boys in this group, went to a World Cup, and some boys, didn't go to the World Cup, and I think he's kind of saved a couple of boys' careers. So I think all we want to do is give back to Joe, and what better way to do that and putting a good performance in on Saturday.
And then, just
Time for a couple more here, guys.
yeah, sure. Just want to know your opinions of the Ireland centres. I suppose the way it is, like so many options there, like it's kind of hard to know who the two are going to be. But I suppose obviously, I'm sure you've played. Obviously, we've seen them up close pretty recently. So just kind of want to know what your kind of impressions are of the centres that Ireland have.
Yeah, they've got some big centres. I'm not a big centre myself, but yeah, they've got really direct ball carriers who can play at the back as well. Also, they've got sharp 10s who know how to use their centres and know how to get the ball to an edge. So for us as a backline, we need to be sharp and on our toes.
Len, when you said that Joe had saved some of the careers of some of the players, can you elaborate a bit on that?
I could go on all day, but we don't have time. But yeah, like our skip, obviously he was kind of on the fringe of the Wallabies team, and I think the way he's transformed over the last couple of years has been awesome. Look at him as a genuine leader within this pack and this team, and that's just one person out of a lot of boys in the team.
And what does Joe do to kind of rescue that career? What way does he?
Well, I think he's made some good selections, but he's real honest. He's honest with his feedback. He's honest with if you're not sharp or intent on doing something, he'll pull you up. So yeah, just having him as a coach has been awesome for us.
Just for you.
Last one, thanks, guys.
Just for you, Len. I mean, you're a modest guy, but you're at the moment you're seen as one of the best centres in the world. When you reflect, there was the World Cup, and then Joe was the guy who saw just your ceiling, which is growing. Personally, as a player, how do you reflect? I mean, this is the final chapter of Joe Schmidt. Just what he's done for you in unlocking this ability that people see.
Yeah. Well, when he first came in, he had a chat with my manager, and he said that I wasn't. It was kind of Super Rugby season. He said that I wasn't kind of in the squad at the moment, and that was the honest feedback that I got, and I think it kind of helped me to, kind of push that extra mile. So just like having those honest conversations with him have been good. But yeah, he's one of the best coaches I've ever had, and I think we're going to miss him when he leaves.